You are listening to Directions from a Spiritual Tour Guide podcast. I am your host, Chanel Scott. I'm a psychic medium and energy healer who has been supporting those on a spiritual journey for over a decade. I'm your tour guide into the world of the unknown, showing you that the magic of the universe is at your fingertips. I believe spirituality is simple and fun, and this podcast will make it easily accessible, giving you the real talk on all things divine and spiritual, helping you to step into the flow. Manifesting your dreams because we all deserve to be living our best life. Are you ready for an adventure? Hello, sunshines, and welcome to episode 24 of Directions from a Spiritual Tour Guide podcast. My name is Chanel Scott. I am your host and your spiritual tour guide on this beautiful journey we call life. This week, we are doing an energy update because it is so needed. I recorded the weekly oracle card reading this morning and shared it with you. And this podcast was always the plan, an energy update. But after that reading today, it was even more so necessary to sit down and chat with you about the energy shift that is happening. So first of all, if you didn't know already, I do a weekly oracle card reading that I share on a few different social medias that you can check out to see what the energy forecast is for the week. A little spiritual guidance to help you just maneuver through the energies, to be prepared for what is happening, what's going on, energetically understand it, because sometimes just knowing that it's not just you, that it's really just the energy right now is so helpful, so calming, so relieving. And I think right now more than any, we really need that information. There has been a lot happening. And this isn't new. It is something that's been going on for quite some time. We have had this massive energy shift that has been happening over the last, almost 6 months now, it feels like, where we've been really pushed for healing. That has been the underlying cause of a lot of things, is healing. But it has gone even beyond that now, and we are finally coming to the end of it. And I know you're going to be as excited as I am, although that really just means that something new is starting, and what are we moving into next? But it does feel like we're really moving into manifestation and creating, and it is the next level of getting there. What was really necessary as a humanity in whole is to do the healing work that we need to release a lot of generational stuff and global stuff. Very early on, I realized that this generation, my generation, is here to start the shift so that our children aren't reliving the same things that our parents and grandparents and their parents have gone through. The generational things, that belief systems and ways of being, habits that we don't need to hold on to anymore, that are ready to shift and change and to move in a different direction completely. Into a more powerful direction, into a more love-centered direction, and this feeling of freedom that we lost so long ago. So that is a big job. That is a really, really big job that we have agreed to come and do. So in that, this is where there is a lot of realization around the belief systems, patterns, habits, trauma that we carry forward from those that came before us. And everyone's going to be different in what they're carrying based on who you are and how you were raised and where you were raised, and, so many environmental factors that come into that. But what the universe is asking us is to become aware of these things that no longer serve us, to become aware of the patterns that were created probably out of love and protection and so many things that were needed for survival so long ago that are no longer needed in the same way. That there needs to be a shift to move forward. If we go way back, things like survival were the main goal in life. How do we survive? How do we move forward? And that fight and flight that was so inbred in us in the beginnings of time, because it was required to survive day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute, that it just was so deep into our cells, into our souls, that it carried forward. Nowadays, it's not quite the same. There isn't bears or wild animals necessarily at our back door, which happens to be a cave or, something that is makeshift and flimsy. The things have shifted in such a massive, massive way. Food is more accessible because we've learned how to grow it instead of having to forage for it in the forest. There is just so many changes over the evolution of time, yet we haven't completely given up all those safety mechanisms that were put in place to help us survive. Now the universe is telling us that it is more than surviving. Life is so much more than just surviving. So it is time to release survival mode, to become aware that you are in it. I am definitely somebody who walked around for a very, very long time not realizing I was just functioning in survival mode, that the stress levels and the burnout that happened, I couldn't even recognize for what it was because I was just day to day surviving, trying to take care of my kids and myself and move forward. But now I'm in this place where I have asked for awareness around the things that need to be healed. And I have been shown the patterns, the belief systems that I don't need anymore. The promises made in moments of desperation in past lives that I no longer hold on to, that I have released myself from. And I know this can sound a little out there, a little wild, a little crazy, but all of these things matter. There are past lives that I have held with people who I now am in lifetimes with, and sometimes some of those not. But there are these lifetimes that I made promises of protection and security and safety and love and family that have held me bound to where I am for far too long. By releasing those things, I have found my own power again. I am able to set boundaries within my life, and I have been able to take steps forward in a way that is creating so much more power, so much more everything. So good, right? But that's not easy. So these last 6 months have not been easy for a lot of us in the awareness of where we stand, the awareness of the power that we actually hold, even though sometimes we don't realize it. The power in understanding that the temporary pain of change is only temporary. And the pain of staying the same only gets worse. It only gets bigger. So by choosing a shift, by choosing a new direction, in fact, we are choosing to release the pain and step into our power. The awareness of the healing can be difficult. And often as we peel back one layer, another layer shows up and another layer shows up and another layer shows up. And sometimes that's really overwhelming. So I always want to remind you that there are people out there to help you through. Regardless of what you have, there are free, there are paid, there are resources for you to reach out to, whether that's friends and family, whether that's mental health professionals, whether that's professionals in some other capacity. There is always a way if you choose to move forward. Let me say that again, because I feel like it's really, really important. There is always a way if you choose to move forward. And again, it might not be easy, but there is always a way, and there is always someone who is willing to help. The bigger message here is healing is an inside job. I am a healer, and it is not my job, and it is not my responsibility to heal you. My job, my responsibility is to support you, to help you have a deeper awareness, to give you tools, but my job isn't to do the work for you. Healing is an inside job. Soul work is soul work for a reason. If we don't do the work ourselves, then we don't actually learn anything. We don't change anything. Somebody just enables us to be another way for a brief moment in time, but that moment will end and the problem will still be there. So, don't you think it's a better idea to actually deal with the problem? To do the healing work yourself, to step forward? I can give you direction and clarity and support and awareness and all of those amazing things that will help you on your way. But I can't do the healing work for you. I know. This one is always a hard one because we call them healers, right? We expect healers to heal, and we can make you feel better. But you are the one that holds your own fate in your hands. You are the one that chooses to step forward or to stay planted where you are. But you always have a choice. Well, the universe is definitely at a place where the choices are becoming thin, where if you are choosing to stay the same, the misery is only going to grow and potentially blow up in your face. It has for me in the past. Sometimes when we don't listen to the gentle nudges of the universe, they drop a bomb instead, and instead we get this chaos and this thing that is so much bigger than what we actually want to deal with, but we're forced to deal with because it's so big. So take the gentle nudges instead. Take those gentle nudges and understand the learning, the wisdom, the lessons so that you can step forward, because there are no mistakes in life. No mistakes. There are learning opportunities to take you forward into greater things, into much more powerful things. But there are no mistakes. My hope for you today is that you are able to step back and look. Look at yourself, look where you are, look where you want to go. Where have you constantly been saying, this is the place? This is the way. But then you continue to move in the same way, and change requires change. I always love the definition of insanity, Einstein's definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Well, it's time to do things differently. It's time to really step into your own power, to heal the wounds that have been wide open for far too long. To take control of your own life and to live the life that you have always dreamed of. That has always been the goal. The universe is looking out for you. It is conspiring. It has your back. Because the universe wants you to be filled with joy and happiness and love. And again, it's not always an easy journey to get there. But when you find the freedom of flow, it changes everything. Life gets easier when you are open. When you are open to receive, when you are open to heal, when you are open to the opportunities that are being placed before you, when you are open to the messages that the universe is sending you to keep you moving on the right track. It is incredible. So do the work. Do the work. Do the soul work, the hard, down in the dirt, nitty gritty, dealing with those emotions, dealing with your mindset, all the stuff that is going to push you forward. It's going to catapult you into your dream life. Because that is where the magic is right now. We are at a place of completion, a place where so many things that for the people that have been working so hard are at a place where things are shifting in a new direction. That we are finally ready to release the past and to step into the now, not into the future, into the now. Are you ready? Are you ready? The universe is just waiting for you to say yes so that it can hand you everything that you have ever wanted. Again, as long as you're willing to work for it. As long as you are willing to do the inside work that is required to step you forward, the universe will have your back. Lots of big energy stuff happening right now, and I am grateful for this opportunity to share it with you. I am grateful for the channel that I get to be able to download this information, to share it, to have a deeper understanding of where we are and where we're going. So again, weekly oracle card reading posted every week. You can find it on my social media channels, YouTube, Instagram, and of course, Facebook. It's definitely there. I do a daily card pull to help you through your week. And of course, those private sessions are always available to you if you are looking for greater clarity and direction. That is my forte. I am all about pushing you forward. So thank you for being here and listening to this energy update. I am grateful for you. I am grateful for you being here and listening to the end. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being on my spiritual journey and allowing me to be your spiritual tour guide today. Send a little love. I love to hear from you in the comments. Come follow me on social media. Stay for a little longer on this journey together. I would appreciate it oh so greatly. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. From my heart and soul to yours. Bye now.